Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Main Street Talk podcast. I'm Nick. This is the podcast for all of your Disney news, updates, and anything going on in the world of Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And with me is my lovely wife, Joni.
Hi, everybody.
So how's it going?
Well,
So we had an interesting week this week. We had some pretty severe storms that came through the area on Tuesday, and
we live in the Midwest.
yep, we live in Northwest Illinois. There was within about 60 miles of us, I believe there was confirmed 8 tornado touchdowns. None were very big, but nonetheless, there was 8 tornadoes. So we headed to the basement when it got pretty hairy in our neighborhood, and Joni looked out the door, and the neighbor's tree was in our yard. So
just missing the house and the shed.
Yeah, just missing the house. It landed on the shed, but the tree that is by the shed, I think, absorbed a lot of the impact, so no damage to the shed. But that's all we had was a downed tree. I know some other areas got hit pretty hard. I heard there was the trailer park that got hit. Did you hear about the trailer park that got hit?
I did not.
The two trailers got hit in the trailer park. I heard they were both vacant, and they were like caught on fire and had a lot of tree damage.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not hear that.
So yeah, it could have been a lot worse. So we spent all day Wednesday. We didn't spend. We hired somebody to get rid of the tree in our yard. But yeah, that was our week.
Yeah.
Disney this week had a busy week of news. A lot of news coming out of Disney World this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a little longer than usual.
It's going to be a little longer, but it's really exciting. All the stuff they announced at D23 last year that they were changing in the parks, all this stuff is starting to get developed, and you got to wonder if opening of Epic Universe has anything to do with this, because
oh, for sure.
For sure. It's really starting to move now, especially with the news and everything. So I'm sure Epic had a lot to do with jump starting. Disney's trying to get back in the news or something.
Be the top dog.
Be the top dog in Orlando again. So I think we'll just get right into it. So the big news that Disney announced this week is a lot of news about Cars Land and what's going on over there in Frontierland. They did announce that the Liberty Square Riverboat and Tom Sawyer Island at Magic Kingdom will be permanently closed effective July 7th of this year. So basically, at park closing on July 6th, the Riverboat and Tom Sawyer's Island will be closed forever. In the past, gone. There's a lot of people not happy about that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Cars Land.
I'm excited for it too. Now, I have only been on the Riverboat once. And I'm glad that I did it to at least have that experience. Now, I was not, due to a knee injury, was not able to go to the island. It was this island, right?
Yeah, well, we went on there with the kid when we took the kids. We didn't.
I couldn't go into it was the tree house I couldn't go into because of all the climbing because I had an injury to the knee and
we had to skip that. But even when we went to Tom Sawyer's Island, we didn't really discover that much of it. We walked around a little bit.
Yeah.
We didn't go in any of the caves or anything.
Well, we were chasing a 5 and 7-year-old little boy that had lots of energy.
Lots of energy, which was nice to let them burn that energy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a lot of people not happy about this because they both were opening day attractions. And I get it. There's a lot of nostalgia. A lot of people that are adults now that went to Disney World as a kid and have great memories of it. But yeah, that is going to be closing for good.
Well, in all actuality, it's going to be more walking space. It's going to be a bigger area to hold and host to a lot of people as compared to what it is now.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you can't swim in the river. It's just a lot of. If you want to go to jail,
you can swim in the river.
Actually, somebody did that last year. I think jumped in the river. But yeah, it's a lot of real estate in Magic Kingdom that
it's unused at this point.
Because it's a river. I get it. The riverboat goes around there, but to me, it's just I think it can be utilized better. And obviously, Disney thought the same thing.
It is nice when you're on it though to be able to go around and see the different see the different sceneries that you can't see from the park.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So you can only see them from the boat.
Yeah,
So,
and then they even have those like little, when you're going around on the river, they have those little scenes set up.
yeah,
You
that's
know
what I
I'm talking
mean.
about? Yeah, yeah,
That's what I mean, that you can only see them from the
yeah,
boat.
yeah.
And if there is other spots you can see them from, then those
I
are
don't know. I think you can see one of them from
hidden Easter eggs that I don't know
part
about.
of when you're on Big Thunder. I think you can see part of one, but
Mm,
I don't even know. But yeah, we're gonna get into the map later. We're gonna talk about the map because it's just in the new concept art it's like really cartoony,
yeah.
but
Well,
it's really cool.
Can I stop you for a second? Instead of just going right into the cars, can we talk about how this is, since it's going to be closing, before we get into the cars, because there's quite a bit with that. Can we talk about the railroad?
Well, yeah,
When this closure is going to happen, what it's going to do to the railroad?
absolutely. It's a good point. So the railroad, the Frontierland station will be closed. So that means Main Street and the Fantasyland, which is over at Storybook Service or Circus, those will still be open. So it's going to act as a shuttle system back and forth, just from Main Street to Fantasyland.
Back and forth there.
Yes, that's
during
the way I understand it.
Reconstruction.
During the construction, because once they start Cars Land, Villains Land can't be that far behind. I imagine they're going to start announcing that within the next few months. I mean, I would think they would have to because things are starting to move pretty quick.
Yeah.
And closures and stuff.
Well, and I wonder if when they're getting, near Cars Land being done, they would have already had a team starting on Villains and maybe open.
Yeah, I don't know. In my mind, and I don't know. So would you want to open Villains Land and Cars Land at the same time? I don't know if that would work well.
Well,
I don't
Epic's opening a whole park, so
yeah, no, that's true. But that would
congest that whole area.
The whole. If you want to ride Tron, you go. It'll be empty up there.
That's right.
Right at any other land except
That's
those two.
Anyway, I'm excited for both of them. I think they're both going to be extraordinary. I'm I think probably mostly excited for Villains Land because I think that is
too.
long overdue.
I am too.
But I'm going over to through the hotel that has the Carland theme was cute. And
yeah, that's a great area. That's Art of Animation.
Art of Animation has a themed area of their property that's dedicated to cars. So if you guys want to hop on the Skyliner and go check that out at some point, if you haven't already, and just walk around. It's kind of cute. And the Little Mermaid's right next to it. But anyway, I'm most interested in the Villains Land.
Me too. I think Villains is gonna. I think they're gonna knock it out of the park. And from what I've heard from other vloggers and people that know people in Disney is they are not messing around because of Epic Universe. Mm-hmm. They're not cutting any corners with anything. Yeah. They're doing this right. They're doing it how it should be done.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's a long time coming.
It's a long time coming. Doing it. I'm glad that it took something for them to do it. Well, but at any rate, they're doing it.
Yeah.
I think they're both going to be great. But yeah, the railroad, get back to the railroad. The railroad starts immediately, the closure. That starts July 7th as well, which kind of surprised me. They want to get moving on this stuff.
Well, they've got to put up the fencing and different things like that. And I wonder if they have to reconstruct the tracks at all. No, it'll just stop at that spot and then go backwards.
Well, for the shuttle, for the time being, it'll just go up, forward and backward, from what I understand.
Okay.
But as far as the track being changed for Villains and Cars, when it does make the full circle, I don't know if they're going to have to change it or not. I doubt it.
I would maybe
build around it.
Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, if they needed to put a tunnel or whatever over it, you can even do that. That would be kind of interesting.
So the railroad,
good stuff.
July 7th. Mm-hmm. And getting into Cars Land. It says here, cars from around the country are fueling up to be the wildest race car in the wilderness.
Clever.
Clever. Very clever. So the new Cars Land will be named Piston Peak. You like it?
Piston Peak.
Piston Peak.
Well, it's not Radiator Springs. It's cute. It's car related. But.
And I think I read somewhere that they wanted to stay away from Radiator Springs because that's in Disneyland.
Sure,
yeah. So they just wanted to kind of keep them separate and not copy and paste. You know what I mean?
Yep. And because of the snow-peaked mountains or per se or whatever that are in the Piston Peak map that they have on the concept art, the name's fitting.
I think I like it.
Yeah.
And it's going to have two attractions. The first attraction is a car ride, and Imagineers have been talking about this. It's going to be some sort of new ride system. I don't quite understand it. I don't think they've actually said a lot about it, but it's a new ride system. It's going to be an off-road experience in cars. I would imagine it's going to be like a magnetic system, but that kind of confuses me because how would you be off-road and have a magnet system? I mean, they're Imagineers. That's what they do, but I'm very interested to see how the system itself.
Or if there's some sort of computer inside each car
Could
that
be. Like a GPS type thing.
Yep.
Yeah, could be.
Or, the cars that just drive you home. It could be something like that.
Self-driving cars.
Yep.
Very trustworthy.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure they'll test it vigorously.
Well, I hope so. It's also going to have it says family-friendly ride. So I don't know what that means. I don't hope it's not another Dumbo in cars.
Well, yeah. Well, another thing is in the concept art, if any of you guys have seen it yet, you can, if you zoom in, you can actually see where there's trails. Now, whether that's going to be part of the track, it's going to be walking paths. There's different structures that you don't know if it's going to be shopping or dining or, part of the queue to get in. I mean, it's still too early to know what's what, but it's very, makes you feel antsy because you want to know and you're trying to form your own opinions and get your own insights. And
there's so many YouTube videos out there and blogs about people trying to pick this map apart, and it's interesting.
Well, we've done it. So we will see. I'm sure everybody is going to have at least one thing that's right.
Yeah, it's exciting. Just getting this ball rolling. And I think we were watching one YouTuber that said, because the first concept art that came out was kind of blurry and you couldn't tell a lot, but he saw the new concept art and he's actually now excited. So I think this new concept art, I think they knew they had to kind of clarify some things from that first one they released.
Yeah. Well, and the way it's set, I mean, I'm looking at it now, and the way it's set is it's directly in, Tiana's is going to be directly behind.
Yep.
And then it's going to be settled in between on the far end, it's going to be Country Bear, and then directly in front of Tiana and Big Thunder. So
one of the things, and I think they're doing this on purpose, I would imagine, is if you look at the map, you can Google the map, pull it up. I can put it on our blog too. I think I'll post it on our blog. There is a lot of water. There is a river on one side of it. There's a river separating the old frontier land, meaning like Country Bear, and like over there by Pecos Bill. And it looks like you are going to be able to walk directly from the Haunted Mansion to Big Thunder Mountain. So this looks really cool. There's barrel bridges. I see barrel bridges in here, so they're keeping some of the Tom Sawyer stuff.
I love that they're keeping the water. I think it's going to help cut down on some of just the aridness and the dryness. Yeah. And I mean, I know you got Tiana's there, but it kind of looks like it just melds together. Tiana's into the new Cars land. It's kind of like it's all one, like it's just a continuation. So I think that is really cool. And it'll kind of break up maybe some of the heat aspects
the water
of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And I do see over in the lower left corner. So let me start with in the middle, what looks like a lodge. That's a speculated ride queue, and we don't know that. But you can see a track coming out of the lodge or by it. But if you go to the lower left corner of the map, you see a tunnel going into the waterfall.
Yes.
So that's cool. That's got to be the ride. The race car ride. I have not heard if there's going to be any eating in this area. I would think so.
Well, if you look over just down to the right of the lodge type structure, the A-frame structure, there is another building structure there.
That one with like the circular fence?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
And then there's one on actually either side, and then one by the what looks like to be a hollowed out humongous tree stump. So there's actually 3 structures there, and I assume maybe bathrooms and maybe some dining of some sort and some shopping. So,
And yeah, I'm going to read something in a minute, but and you can tell by looking at this, the Imagineers traveled to Rocky Mountain National Park to get the concept of this new land, and you can definitely see that in the new concept art. And there's a lot of geysers over by Big Thunder. You see all those geysers?
yes.
Water spraying up. There's a lot of them.
Yes. That is neat. I have no idea what that rainbowed structure is.
I saw that earlier. That's the first time I saw it was when I was pulling this map earlier today. I don't know what that is.
Well, and here's another little tidbit right there. That largest geyser, the gigantic one, just to the left of the rainbow structure.
Mhm.
Well, actually, there's more rainbow structures. Anyway, it looks like stairs going up and around that.
Around the like volcano looking thing?
Yes.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know if it's for maintenance type things or if it's going to be something like you can go up and around, like looking at the tree at Animal Kingdom. You can go up and near and around it and whatnot.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm excited. The more I look at it, the more we talk about it, the more excited I get about it.
I just love the art. And we're going to get into it in a minute, but in the bottom right-hand corner is the new Cars mascot. We'll get into that in a minute, but they do have a new character, the new ranger that's going to be patrolling Piston Peak.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I'm just going to read a little bit. This is straight from Disney Parks blog. Welcome to Piston Peak National Park. Imagine an awe-inspiring wilderness filled with towering trees, snow-capped mountains, breathtaking waterfalls, roaring rivers, and impressive geysers, while fictional Piston Peak, inspired by Rocky Mountain area and the history and iconic sites of the American frontier and its national parks. Inside Piston Peak, guests will be able to see and explore the Visitor Lodge, Ranger Headquarter trails, and more, all set within the Disney and Pixar Cars universe. To make sure these buildings fit naturally with the surrounding majestic landscapes, Imagineers are using a style of architecture called Parkitecture. Isn't that clever?
Mm-hmm.
Which was developed by the National Park Service to create structures that harmonize with the natural environment. From the outside, trees will provide a natural barrier between the off-road rally and the other parts of Frontierland and Liberty Square. Rugged mountains with dramatic peaks will be nestled along and calming waterways across from Grizzly Hall, and soaring geysers from the famed Big Thunder Mountain Railroad will stretch into the trails of our off-road rally.
Well, they're right there in that it says that there's going to be, those structures are going to be, obviously you have to have shopping, bathrooms, and dining in every area.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting. I'm excited for this. And like I said, the mascot, Disney World is introducing a new original character for its Cars-themed attraction. The character is Ranger J. Audubon Woodlore. It is a playful nod to the classic Disney cartoon character, Ranger J. Audubon Woodlore, who appeared in the 1950s shorts along with Humphrey the Bear. So it's the same name, except the spelling of the Cars character is Autobahn, like the famous Autobahn stretch of road in Germany, where I don't know if it still is, but at one time there was no speed limit. People used to go there from all over the world just to drive it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Yeah, it sounds great. And then we have cars that are going to drive themselves.
On the Autobahn. Yeah, that's great. Ranger's going to be busy. Ranger Woodlore.
That's right. But his original name is Audubon.
Yes.
So they did kind of switch it up to be car-like.
Yes.
So, which is kind of cute. But 1950s shorts alongside Humphrey the Bear. I don't know that I've ever seen any of those.
I saw the original character, and I've never seen him before.
Now he looks. I seen him, and he looks familiar, but I cannot recall the cartoons. We might have to pull a couple of those and watch them.
And the character, he's really cute. He's got glasses, which I think is hilarious. He's got glasses sitting on the hood of his car, or on his hood, and he's got a park ranger hat on. Mm-hmm. Is he a truck? Yeah, he looks like a truck. He's green and purple. He's cute. I like it. So a lot of news about Cars Land, and I think it was overdue. I know Disney likes to keep a cap on things, but like I said, I think Epic really gave them no choice but to start funneling in information slowly. But big news, because we also have some other big news that was.
He is a cute little man. You know that, like he has.
The glasses are great.
No, and you know what else is super cute?
Are you talking about the original character?
I'm talking about. Well, he's cute too, but I'm talking about the truck.
Yeah.
Because his bumper is a belt buckle.
Is
So
it
adorable.
Sure is.
So cute.
It sure is.
Yep. And he's got a ranger hat on and it's got the little emblem. Super cute.
His glasses are killing me. I love them. I didn't even notice the belt buckle.
Oh my gosh. So cute. Okay. Anyway, moving on because I could just look at this all day. This map is great.
So yeah, like I said, a lot of news about Cars Land.
And it's a big area, guys.
It is.
It's big.
Imagine, the area between Haunted Mansion and Big Thunder, that whole area is going to be filled in. And then, over to like Country Bear.
Yeah.
That whole triangular area it's going to be filled in. It's going to be a big area.
Yeah. And I don't know, it kind of looks like the water is moving. Well, it's got to be like in some sort of way because of it coming off of the, if it's like slanted, but it just looks in the photo like it's moving water.
Yeah.
So that would be kind of good, with it not being in the waterfalls and whatnot. So I think it would give the sense of cooling, in a hot environment.
Yeah.
It might make it a little bit more,
once again,
seem not so hot.
Disney's fooling your senses.
Yes.
They are very good at that.
Yeah. Yes, they are. I'm excited for it.
So staying in Magic Kingdom, we're going to got a couple bits of news, some smaller news. The Astro Orbiter is put back together. It is reassembled. Not open.
Hey. Not open.
Not open.
Oh.
No, the thinking is they're still doing some tweaks. They had to do some stuff while it was reassembled. It is rescheduled to open this summer.
So what exactly was all being done to the Astro Orbiter?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know.
Because we talked about that a little bit last week.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just like a new paint job or, maybe just refreshing the current thing. I don't think any mechanical changes or any ride changes are going on.
Okay. Maybe they put your escalator in.
Oh my God, don't tease me. Don't tease me. That escalator needs to happen. That elevator.
Or at least an elevator with windows or something that you can get some air
with air conditioning or something.
Yeah.
That elevator's brutal.
Oh.
And
okay, well, good.
Yeah. And in Tomorrowland, Buzz Lightyear and Imagineers have filed a permit for electrical work for Buzz Lightyear.
Okay.
So that overhaul is still going on. Or it's not still going on, but they're obviously setting up and getting ready for it. It will include, when it is done, include a new scene featuring a new character, Buddy the Robot, new ride vehicles, new handheld blasters, and interactive targets. So,
okay. This is what I was learning about as far as the mechanism, the shooting mechanisms. So we were talking last week when we touched on this.
Yep.
About how your hand, from hitting that button all
blasting
the time.
The button.
So
yeah.
are we able to tell what
like an auto shoot? That would be great.
What the new thing's supposed to be? Yeah. So
no, I haven't seen a lot of information about it, but it is getting overhauled. But yeah, I hope they do.
I think it's supposed to be where you just it actually will alert you for what targets you hit now, and instead of having to do the constant pressing, I believe that you can just hold it down.
So like an auto shoot?
Like an auto shoot, but it will, I don't know if it'll have a vibration in it if you hit the target, or somehow it's going to be able to alert you that you've hit the target. Because as it stands now, you don't know.
You don't know. Well, you get the points.
Well, you get the point.
But you're not looking down at your points while you're shooting.
Exactly. And if you're shooting and then you're like, oh, I think I got it, or you don't know if you got it, so you waste valuable seconds.
So you keep trying to hit it.
Yeah, you keep trying to hit something you've already collected. So I think that's what's supposed to be happening with those. So that would be, I don't know. At first I was thinking it might take away some of the competition of it, for those of us who are competitive.
For those of us.
I'm not. You are.
Well, no, you just beat me every time. Don't let her fool. I should put on our Facebook page our Buzz Lightyear picture.
What, with our scores?
No, do you have one?
I'm sure I do.
If you have one, I'll put it up.
Okay.
But just
I'll look for it.
Our focused, our
oh yeah,
our ultra focused.
Oh yeah,
probably more so me, because I've never beat you. I don't think.
Well, I'm sure I was just as focused because, like I said, my gun was not vibrating when I hit my points, so I didn't know.
But yeah, that ride needs some love, anyways. It's kind of clunky, even the ride. When you're spinning and stuff, the whole thing. It needs some love.
Well, it doesn't spin all the way. It doesn't go 360. It just goes side to side, and
Right.
then and at some points the track takes over and
Yeah, kind of points you or shifts you where you need to be. Yeah.
Well, and then so that's actually, I know that Disney has done that with several rides, like over at Haunted Mansion. They actually do that. They have you turn to one side so they don't have to theme or decorate what's behind you.
Yep.
So
exactly. Can't see what's behind you. Same thing with Nemo and Under the Sea.
Yeah.
Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
Can't see what's behind you because you're in a big shell.
Yeah, that's right.
So, that's our news from Magic Kingdom. A lot of stuff coming out of Magic Kingdom this week. So stay tuned. I'm getting excited for that.
Yeah, we'll give you all the updates that we get in on, especially the Cars Land as that's happening.
And hopefully within the next month, they start announcing some villain stuff. That's what I'm really hoping for.
When I wondered if they could use the same area for the vehicle, like the construction vehicles
Possibly,
they're using now, so they don't have to, maybe those permits will carry over.
For both lands, yeah.
Yep.
That would be huge.
Because then that would already be a step ahead.
Yep.
So, okay, well, where are we moving next?
So we're moving to Hollywood Studios because more news.
Okay.
More news on the future of Walt Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, today is, I forgot to mention, like I did last week, we are recording on Saturday, June 7th. So all news is current to June 7th. And Muppets last day in Hollywood Studios is today. Today.
Boom, boom, boom.
So that's another one that people...
I wish I could do a Kermit the Frog voice right now.
Try it.
I can't.
Miss Pig?
Oh my gosh, you really want me to try and embarrass myself like that?
If you want to try, go ahead and try.
No, I don't.
So the last day is today. And as I said in the previous week's show, that the last people to see the show will be cast members, which I think is great. They're having a special cast party send-off, and I believe they're even reopening Pizza Rizzo for a party afterwards.
I have goosebumps right now.
Do you?
Yes, on my head and on my arms, my legs.
I'm not going to show you the picture I saw earlier then. It was a cool picture. Maybe I'll find after the show. I'll show you.
Is it going to make me cry?
It might. It's a cool picture. I don't know where I'm not going to share it because I don't know where it came from.
Right.
So I don't want to be copyrighting anything, but it's a cool picture. I'll tell you about it. It's basically all the Muppets in front of the theater, and they all have their arms around each other. And there's a sign on it that says permanently closed. And they all have like suitcases. Some of them have suitcases and stuff.
See, goosebumps again, and now the eyes are swelling up.
But there's good news. There is good news also.
Give me the good news. Hurry.
This breaking news released this morning.
Okay.
Kermit the Frog, actually. The Imagineers had Kermit the Frog come on their Instagram page and release this. The Rock and Roller Coaster will be closing in 2026.
Well, how is that good news?
And reopening in 2026, the Muppets are moving to the Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh, yay.
So they're not leaving. They're not leaving. They're moving. No,
gone.
That's why they had suitcases. They're moving.
Moving out of their current location. Okay.
So yeah, I'm excited for that too. And it's not. Well, you know this. That I love Rock and Roller Coaster the ride. Not a big Aerosmith fan. Never have been.
Now me, I jam out every time we get on it.
See, she likes Aerosmith. I'm not a big fan of Aerosmith. I love the ride, but I'm excited to see what
I love
what
the
they do
ride
with
too.
Muppets.
Now, speaking of this ride, what is the ride that I don't like? And
Space Mountain.
Please don't hate
Space
me,
Mountain.
people, for this, but I
She can't do Space Mountain.
cannot do Space Mountain. It terrifies me. We took the grandkids on it, and all three of us, the two kids and myself, got off.
Oops.
And immediately, my oldest grandson, our oldest, threw his hat down and started crying. The other one was crying before we got off, and all I kept saying was shaking my head and, I can't believe you did this. And Nick's over here trying to lighten everybody up.
To ease the pain a little bit.
So he's
that was
cheering.
fun.
Oh, that was a good time. And we're all
And
like,
I knew it wasn't.
He did that because he knew he was in trouble.
I knew what was coming because I had not been on Space Mountain in a very long time. I like Space Mountain, but I had not been on it, and I forgot how jerky it can get, and just that pitch black. I think that's what scared you. Can't see what's coming.
That doesn't scare me. We went on it, just the two of us on our last trip, and I still did not like it. And I'm not scared of the dark. Okay. I don't like the jerky worky stuff. can't do
It needs some love.
It definitely needs some love.
I mean, that track is got to be.
And people love it. And if you're somebody who loves it,
I like it.
More power to you. It's just not for me. But I was, and then what's the other one? I'm trying to figure out what ride that Rock and Roller Coaster goes in between. Now, there's another. I don't like Space Mountain like others do.
When people ask me about Rock and Roller Coaster, I say it's a perfect mix between Space Mountain and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
That's how I describe it.
And even though Rock and Roller Coaster is somewhat jerky, just the up and the down and whatnot, it's just, I don't know what it is.
It's a lot smoother ride.
It is a lot. And I like it. I like that one.
Yeah. It's fun. I think it's the only roller coaster in Disney that goes upside down. So in case you didn't know that.
I've never ridden with the lights on though. And I don't know that I would like it with the lights on.
Where, Space Mountain or Rock and Roller Coaster?
Well, with Space Mountain, I'm never going to go on again. So we're not going to talk about that one. And Rockin', it's going to be gone. So
yeah, it will be gone by next time we
there
go.
was a ride that people were on if there was lighting work or whatever being done. Wasn't there videos of something?
Yeah, I've seen some videos. I've seen videos of Space Mountain in the light. I've seen videos of Rock and Roller Coaster in the light. I don't know the circumstances of those. Either one of them.
Was it guest on? It couldn't have been guest on.
It probably had to have been something special. I don't know.
Okay.
But the same with Space Mountain. I mentioned this when we did Astro Orbiter, or I'm sorry, People Mover. I want to go on the People Mover when Space Mountain is down because I have to turn the lights on to fix whatever they need to fix.
Right.
I think that would be cool.
I think that thankfully I'm not afraid of the dark because I would rather ride those rides in the dark because I don't want it to know how close the structures are.
Like the rails are right above your head.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thank God I'm only 5'2". And I have short arms and short legs. So I'm not at risk.
I remember our oldest grandson, the first thing he said, like Joni said, he threw his hat down and he went over and sat down. And I went up to him and the first thing he said to me was, I thought I was going to fall out.
No way.
Oops.
The kids still talk about that ride.
That was our first day there. That was our first park day, I think.
Yeah,
and
I didn't think we were going to get them on any other rides.
I had to tell them over and over, that's the only one that's like that. Which I didn't know at the time. I'd never been on Guardians. I didn't know what Guardians was like.
They loved Guardians.
They did love Guardians, but I had to. I'm like, no, there's no more like that. There's
now,
no
Dinosaur
more like that.
was a little bit jerky when we ended up going over to Dinosaur, but yeah, ultimately, our oldest grandson rode every ride in all 4 parks.
Except, and it was Rock and Roller Coaster was closed.
Oh yes,
it was closed for
that's
refurb.
Correct.
Yep.
And that was his first time ever being to Disney, and he rode every single ride. So he did pretty good with Space Mountain being his
introductory.
That was his break. But no, we went to Barnstormer for his break.
But we started with Barnstormer, and then Seven Dwarfs was the next roller coaster we went on, and then Space Mountain.
And then Space Mountain. Can you guys believe it? Oh my gosh, what did we do to these children?
So Muppets. Going to Rock and Roller Coaster, last day is today, June 7th. So long, Muppets. I actually got a notification on my phone from our local news station just about an hour ago that said a 32-year-old attraction in Disney World closes down.
Well,
I didn't read it, but I'm assuming I had to have been talking about this.
when did Jim Henson do the Muppets? I mean, when did they first come out? And you know what? I probably haven't.
I don't know. And the thing that a lot of people are very upset about this, is because, and I didn't know this until Disney announced they were closing it. This was the last project Jim Henson worked on.
Yeah, no, I knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew that.
But Disney said they are archiving the show, so it will not be gone forever. As far as being able to watch the show in some sort of fashion.
Okay, so the Muppet, what I found is the Muppets opened up with their first presence in Disney World and with a stage show called Here Come the Muppets, which was in 1990. And that was when Disney was the MGM Studios, which is now Hollywood Studios in the 90s. So, and then a year later in 91 is when they introduced the Muppet Vision 3D. So
the 3D has been since 91.
3D's been 91. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the very first Muppet attraction or presentation was Here Comes the Muppets stage show.
Okay.
In 90.
Okay. I hope they move that Miss Piggy fountain over to Rock and Roller Coaster. I think that thing's cool.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
So yeah, Muppets are going away. And that's all we have for Hollywood Studios. Big news out of Epcot though. Huge news out of Epcot. The test track sign has been unveiled. The new sign can be seen from the monorail. Ooh. Huge news.
Woohoo!
That's
Are
really.
you allowed to put a picture of that on?
I could try to find a picture. I could write a whole blog on the new sign. But like I said last week, any progress is good. So they are testing the new vehicles as well. So that's basically it for the park news this week.
So wait, let's talk a little bit more with this test track going
Sure.
on here. I know we're exceeding time, which we warned everybody ahead of time because there was a lot going on this week.
Well, we don't have a time limit.
But for the test track, what were they doing? All in all,
They're retheming. So they're, and I hope they update the ride system, which I think they would have to because it got stuck all the time.
mm-hmm.
You'd go like every few 20, 30, whatever, how many ever feet, and you'd get stuck.
Yeah.
I don't
Well, when we went, we were down a couple of times,
Yeah,
like right at the
several
beginning
times.
of the, the speedway part of it,
Yep.
and we would be stuck in there. So
yeah,
to be able to ride it all the way through
with no interruption,
with no interruptions would be an experience.
that's needed some love for a while. So yeah, I think there's retheming, refreshing, and putting some new scenes in there.
Okay, good, because I thought it was, from what I recall, it was kind of dull in there.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
But then again, you're not supposed to be stopped. You're supposed to be,
You're
moving.
supposed to be moving.
So, I mean, what is there really that you're supposed to be looking at? Well, I'm excited for that.
So yeah, that's it for the park news this week. We got some other news, which this one I'm really happy that Disney is finally doing something about this. This has been a problem for a while. And that when it comes to Disney Vacation Club, DVC, they are finally starting to crack down on commercial renting. And what I mean by that is, so we own a contract, and this is something Disney allows you to do. It's in your contract. So we own a contract. If we can't go 1 year, or if we have a vacation cancel, or we have a vacation plan and one of us gets sick, or something happens,
whatever reason, we don't go.
You can't go, you can rent your points out. There's no harm, no foul. So your points don't expire because these points are expensive. They don't expire. You still owe the dues on them. You can rent your points out, get your money back to pay your dues, or whatever the case may be. Now, that being said, there are people that, commercial renters, what these people do is they buy thousands and thousands of points and rent all their points out every year. Probably, 30, 50 reservations a year. They're making a business out of DVC. This got brought up in the association meeting last year. Somebody stood up and said, "What are you doing to curb the commercial renting?" I believe this is what happened. And they said, "We are working on it." So this week, DVC members, I have not seen it yet. I should get on and look at it. DVC members are saying that now when you go, before you confirm your reservation, there's a box to check that says, this reservation is for personal use.
Okay.
And then there's a terms and conditions site on there saying that basically you're not commercial renting.
Okay.
So
basically all in all that does is it's you're taking their word for it. Therefore, if it is found out that someone is still scamming this technique, then they are liable and could possibly
we don't know
have legal troubles.
Right. We don't know what the repercussions are because this just happened, but it's not hard for DVC to look in your history. Like us, we spend our points per year. They're not going to look at us, They're looking at people that have 50 reservations.
I can guarantee you there will be some people that are caught and reprimanded because
I hope so.
They're going to think that they can sneak by.
Yeah.
But Disney knows everything.
Yeah.
They do.
They can find out everything. And
they've got people everywhere.
The reason, if you're not a DVC member, the reason this is a big deal, the reason this is frustrating is because there are rooms, like us, we own an Animal Kingdom. There are value studio rooms there that cost I think they can cost as low as 7 points a night. There's only like 13 of those rooms, I believe, 10 or 13 or something like that.
So
they
these
are
commercial people
extremely
buy
hard.
them up.
Right.
And
They're extremely hard to get, even without these commercial renters. But if you go on rental websites, which are legit websites and are fine, they're good, for people to rent. That's where I would rent our points if we needed to. But if you go on those websites, you always see an Animal Kingdom value room. And you see them on Facebook groups. So it's hard to get rooms.
So as a consumer, though, as someone who would be interested in renting these points and they go on and not knowing that this organization is commercially selling them and they purchase, what kind of, not trouble, because, the buyer can't
What
be in trouble because they don't
consequences?
know. Well, I mean, are they out their money? So they spend their money giving it to this company and then the company is fraudulent. And then,
it's all very, very new. Nobody
Yeah.
really knows. And I should correct myself when I say the rental sites. There are some big rental sites out there and they have guardrails for commercial rentals. So it wouldn't be on those. It'd be on like the Facebook groups
okay.
and stuff like that. And it's for the hard to get rooms that people cannot get. Like I said, Animal Kingdom value. There's Animal Kingdom value 2-bedroom that I've never seen open. I've never seen an opening, not even for one night when I've been looking. That's like, I think they call it a unicorn because I don't think anybody's, it's got to be a special situation, I think, where a value studio is next to a value 1-bedroom. So
do you have any insight or any kind of information that you can share for people that are looking for a room that does not have a DVC contract and they're wanting to buy points? Like,
To
would you
rent points
suggest?
for a week?
Who would you suggest?
Well, I don't want
Don't give names or
Right.
anything, but just
Google DVC rental sites. There's 2 big ones I can think of.
But are there not fraudulent ones that come up in that, or
No,
would it be because you're looking up specific rental sites?
probably it would. I think it'd be legitimate.
Okay.
I would stay away from Facebook groups
Okay.
for sure.
Well,
'Cause-
that's a huge tip because guys, they're going down.
yeah. And even in the Facebook groups, I've seen people getting scammed,
Yeah.
like sending money via PayPal for
Yeah.
or for a down payment for a week at whatever Polynesian, and there's no points to be rented.
There's nothing.
So
there.
just stay away from the Facebook groups. That would be my opinion. I'm sure there's a lot of out there that are legitimate.
Yeah. So if you are a legitimate Facebook group,
But-
don't come at us. Just make
Yeah.
your stuff look more legit. And
And if you use a rental company,
yeah,
you have protections.
Well,
They
yeah,
they
then
protect
they're-
the buyer and seller.
that's right. That's
So
right.
if something gets canceled or whatever.
Just quit trying to find the loopholes and quit being greedy. Just go have fun.
Just go have fun. So that's good news. I was glad to hear that.
Yeah, that is good news.
It just remains to be seen how it's going to play out because this is brand new. So, and the Princess Half Marathon Weekend theme has been revealed. The Disney Princess Half Marathon Weekend is February 26th through March 2nd. And the races and challenges are inspired this year by, I can never say her name. What's her name?
Merida.
Merida, Moana, Rapunzel, and Belle.
So girls, get your tiaras on and hit the pavement.
Hit the pavement.
It is for boys too. So
Yeah.
take your swords if you want.
And this, I don't think, surprises anybody, but the Hollywood Reporter had an article this week naming Josh D'Amaro the front runner to take over as CEO when Bob Iger retires. I think that's been whispered around for a while that he'd be the front runner. From the article I read, it said there was four current Disney names, but he's kind of emerging as the front runner. But nothing's in stone. Nothing, comes from the Hollywood Reporter. So I don't know, but it doesn't surprise me. I think I heard a lot of people after the D23 event when that people were like, well, there's no doubt. Just the way he came out there and announced everything and
spoke quite a lot at that
Yeah.
show. Okay, so is there a prediction on when this is supposed to be taking place?
I don't know when Iger's retiring. I know they hired somebody not too long ago, like a consultant, to kind of help with the hiring process. Yeah.
Well, I just
Bob
wondered
Iger
if he was
2.0.
going to, yeah, exactly. I just wondered if he was going to hold out until, the end of like 26 or something like that, like till some of these lands got completed.
I read 26. He won't be around when the lands are completed. I think this is a 5-year project on all of them.
Okay.
I mean, that's my guess.
Okay.
But like I said, I know I said it earlier, but Disney is notoriously slow at building things.
Well,
but Epic,
they may kick it up a bit.
Epic really, really changed that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They can't be slow. It took them 5 years to build Tron, I think, and part of that, the park was closed for the pandemic.
Yeah. So they had all the freedom to move around and about as they needed.
Yeah.
And still.
And they had the blueprints. I mean, Tron came from, was it Shanghai? One of the overseas parks.
How long does it take Disney to build a ship?
Oh, we watched that show. Remember?
How long?
I don't remember how long. Well, how long was it?
It wasn't 5 years.
No, it wasn't 5 years.
I mean, they're coming out with back-to-back year ships even.
Yeah.
But they can't build a land.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the same amount of time or much, much less.
I don't know. Disney has their systems. I don't know. But Bob Iger did say, speaking of Bob Iger, not too long ago, I think it was on their last investor call, that they're really starting to invest in the Disney Cruise Line. Really up ticking that. So that's it for our news this week, though. I know that was a lot, but exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Not boring at all.
No, there was quite a bit.
And this week's spotlight on attraction is going to be the Tomorrowland Speedway, because we're just going to finish Tomorrowland. And I'm going to start just right from the Disney website and read what they say about it. Put the pedal to the metal in your very own hot rod and cruise along a scenic miniature motorway. Driver, start your engine, take the wheel of a gas-powered car, and strap yourself in for exciting and scenic drive. As the checkered flag is waved, you're off. Accelerate around sharp bends and lush foliage, spot iconic attractions visible from the roadway, and pick up the pace as you sprint to the finish line, featuring a working gas pedal, a steering wheel, and your car can navigate up and down inclines and around turns. It's a nostalgic drive that will have you smiling for miles. Designed for smaller racers who are at least 54 inches tall can drive their own gas-powered race car. Guests who are at least 32 inches tall may also drive their own cars as long as they are accompanied by someone who is at least 54 inches.
Okay, so this ride is a 2 to 3 per vehicle, and generally two adults. You can get a third in there if they're a little. It is a tier 2 multi-pass, and there is some accessibility restrictions or requirements that you must be able to transfer from your wheelchair or scooter vehicle, and it does require stepping over a small wall and down a moderate step. The ride is about 4 to 5 minutes long, and it is an opening day attraction. I don't know if you said that, October 1, 1971.
No, I was getting ready to say that, but yes.
October, got that covered for you.
Opening day.
Yeah.
It got its inspiration from Autopia in Disneyland, which opened in 1955. When the Speedway wasn't always called Tomorrowland Speedway, it's had different names over the years. When it was first opened, it was simply the Grand Prix Raceway.
The Grand Prix Raceway. Say that fast 3 times.
Grand Prix Raceway. No. I guess I just messed it up saying it once. Forward to the 90s, 1996, the track got a makeover, and that's when it became the Tomorrowland Indy Speedway, because they had a partnership with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
They added some Indy 500 theming and a bit more futuristic flair. 2008, the partnership with Indy ended, and the name changed again, this time just to Tomorrowland Speedway, which is what it's still called today. So since 2008.
2008.
Yep.
Okay. So has it always smelled the way that it smells?
I was just gonna bring that up.
So Indy didn't do anything about that?
Indy didn't do anything about the smell. That smell is you know when you're by the if you're ever lost in Tomorrowland and you smell that, you're like, okay, here I am.
Okay, so here's my thought on it. It is very pungent, and I don't know if I would recommend. I mean, if to go on that ride or be near that ride if you're hungry, or if you had just eaten, because it makes my stomach turn. The
It's-
fumes
it's,
are so strong.
They got to do something
and
about
to
that.
stand up there in that line, if you're prone to headaches
In the heat, yeah.
and then that the fumes are just, I mean, it's worse than being in an enclosed room painting.
It's bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's bad. And
but you said they're gas powered, and they are
gas-powered.
considering or had considered in the past.
yeah, I've read they're trying to, they want to change that. They want to change the vehicles.
Okay.
They're still looking into options
Okay.
because
To be more eco-friendly.
Yeah, and it's
But
they got to know it smells.
yeah. And the workers, those poor workers.
I can't imagine standing outside there 8 hours.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
And you know, it's not really, I know it's an old-timey ride
Mhm.
that's been there forever.
Yep.
And to be honest, as adult, there's nothing to it. This is a kid ride, 100%
It
through
is.
and through.
but I will have to interject here.
I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
The holiday.
The holiday.
Yep.
You got to do it during the Christmas party.
Yes.
Because there's a handful of rides that have overlays.
It
And
was very cool.
It is cool. I think, did I drive or did you drive? You took pictures and I drove.
You drove, and I was thinking I was taking a video of you, but I forgot to hit record.
No. So there is no video that
So-
exists of me on Tomorrowland.
We have
I've never
pictures.
been on it. There's no proof. But no, seriously, they do have a cool overlay. I don't know. Did they do a Halloween also? I don't remember. We didn't go on it at Halloween. I remember that, but we specifically went on at Christmas
There is a
because of
Halloween
lights.
overlay.
Is there?
I'm pretty sure.
Tomorrowland?
I'm pretty sure. Yes. I will verify. You go ahead and do what you're doing.
That was pretty much it I had for Tomorrowland Speedway. It's Joni said it's a cool ride for kids because who doesn't, when you're 5 years old, who doesn't want to drive a car?
Oh, and you know what else is really cute though? They have that little booth
Yep, I was going to
that you
mention
can
that. Yep.
go in. Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, that you can go into. So we took our grandsons in, and they have a little booth there that you can go in and get your driver's license taken. The
So-
ink doesn't last. It's not. It's not meant
No.
to be a forever photograph, but it is cute because it punches out a realistic size of a driver's license
Plastic
with their
card.
photo
Yeah.
and says it's only permitted in Tomorrowland
Something,
Speedway,
yes.
and so we told them that they had to have it before they could drive.
To ride the ride, yeah. And they bought it. Because our one grandson doesn't like his picture taken, but we said, you can't go on the ride unless you have your license.
That's right.
So he got it. I don't know what happened to those licenses, but
Well, our oldest grandson decided he wanted to carry his in his hot, sweaty, wet hands the entire time, so all the ink came off.
the ink came off. Yeah,
the other grandson, I held on to it after the ride, and his was salvaged.
yeah, don't expect high quality stuff. They're cool if you keep, I guess, if you didn't put it in your pocket in the Florida sun, it would have been fine.
Sure.
Put it in your bag and take it home.
Exactly. So I found it. Tomorrowland Speedway race, or Tomorrowland Speedway does not have a Halloween theme. Just the
Just a
Very
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but the Christmas was cool.
Yeah, it was neat.
It's definitely worth doing. I mean,
But
especially during the party, there's no lines. So
Right.
or little
Well,
lines.
I mean, there's not really a whole lot going on in that line anyway. I
No.
mean, it's a fast moving line.
It is.
Because people are dropping on the ground from the fumes.
Fumes.
I'm just kidding, guys.
But it is something that definitely needs to be addressed.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
sure.
I mean, especially if it's targeted to children and you've got all these little standing in line getting their
Yeah, and I don't.
sinuses inhaled with fumes.
I didn't even think about it till you said when we were there on Christmas. The cast member that was putting people in the cars or directing people to their cars. He was a young guy, probably 18, 19 years old or whatever. And you're like that poor kid
Yeah.
has to smell it. And I was like, I never thought about it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow,
And
8 hours a day.
And knowing the brain and things like that, your brain is still developing until you're about 25.
Yeah.
So not good
Not
for
with those fumes.
no, definitely stunted. Anyway, we're hoping that they do something about that. But it's been like that since 1971. So
Yeah.
who knows?
So it was our spotlight on attraction. We're gonna knock out Tomorrowland. I think we only have a few left that I can think of.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at the map and double check that. But so we're gonna go on to our tipper trick of the week, and that is this week is to make that vacation a little bit cheaper is to buy Disney gift cards at select locations where they're discounted. Places like Sam's Club, Target. If you have a red card, I'll give you a tip on the red card in a minute. But if you have a red card at Target, they are 5% off. Sam's is 5% off. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. And BJ's Wholesale, I'm not sure how much BJ's Wholesale is off because we don't have BJ's around here. But I do know with Sam's, they are usually 5% off. 3 or 4, maybe 5 times a year, they will have $200 gift cards for $180. So that's more than 5%. And you have a limit of 4. So you could buy $800 in gift cards for $720. So when you're going to Disney, you got to save money wherever you can.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That $80 is a shirt.
Well, yeah, it's a quick service meal. But with the Target Red Card, Target has Red Card debit cards, not just credit cards. So I actually have one. You get the Target debit card and it links right to your bank account. And so you can buy it with the Target Red debit card and get the 5% off as well, which I've been doing. We have a big trip planned in about a year and a half. Mm-hmm. And every paycheck I get, I put a certain amount of money aside and I buy a Target gift card.
That's right.
So you can buy a little bit. Up. Yeah, buy a little bit at a time for a long time.
Well, and it's a guaranteed savings specifically for that. So it's not just sitting in an account and you're like, oh, I really need this.
Yep.
And, so it's designated specifically for the trip so that when trip time comes, you're not sweating bullets because you're short or, working extra overtime to compensate what you've been shorted on. And
like you said, that adds up. I mean, we were talking about we're going to buy these gift cards for the next 18 months or whatever. By the time we're done, the money we saved is going to pay for, we're taking our only granddaughter. It's going to pay for pretty much all of our bibbidi bobbidi if that's what we decide to do.
Yeah.
Or the memory maker.
Yeah. And it doesn't cost us any extra to do it. It's just the approach that you do it on. So, you gotta save where you can. You gotta think smart about these kind of things. There's always things to research and investigate and less expensive routes. You just gotta look for them.
Yep. Save money where you can.
Yep.
I mean, we even buy the kids' meals sometimes when we want to save money.
Oh, it's plenty for me though too. Walking around a park.
Yep.
Like who wants to go and have a full sit down meatloaf and potato and corn? Well, I mean that sounds really good right now. We haven't had dinner yet, but
yeah, 2 chicken strips, fries, an orange, and a milk.
Yeah.
For like $8 or something.
Yeah, that's plenty.
That's plenty for lunch.
And a lot of their stuff, you can get, even if we were to get like a meal, we could probably share it.
Yep.
So, but you guys know that. And another tip, I'll just throw it in there, is just take your water bottles.
Absolutely.
Buying water there is so silly.
$4.50 a bottle or something, $5.50, whatever it is. Yeah,
and you that can alone, and plus you need the water.
Yep.
They do have free water stations that you can get water at the quick service stops. And another thing, if you do take a water bottle, it is asked of you to use a new cup every time that you fill your water.
Right. So some of the places have the water jug sitting on the counter with a stack of cups next to it. They don't want you putting your water bottle right under the jug.
Well, they don't want you doing that. And then also they don't want you, once you dump the water cup.
Right, I got you. Okay.
From the canister into your water bottle, they don't want you to refill that cup that was previously filled. They want
Really? I don't think I knew that.
I'm pretty sure that they like you to, because your hands and whatnot have already been on it. They want you to be able to just grab it.
Huh. And I didn't know that. Take her advice.
Well, maybe don't take my advice because now you got me double guessing. I'm like, maybe just ask. How about that?
At the very least, don't put your water bottle under the jug.
Please don't put your water bottle in the jug. It's like putting your mouth under there and just releasing the spout and letting it pour it.
Use the cups that are next to it.
Because as nice as they are, you might get a stank eye.
Yeah. In fact, I did hear one of the cast members. A lady was up doing that, and she asked her nicely. She said, "Can you please use the cups?"
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're always very nice anyway. So,
all right. Well, that's it for this week. There was a lot of news coming out, and just plan on I hope within the next month or two, they do a huge Villains Land drop, and we'll have another long show of exciting news. I am a Disney vacation travel planner. You can contact me at nick.garcia@academytravel.com. Our website is mainstreettalkpod.com. There's a link on there to get a free vacation quote, and my email address in there as well. Our Facebook page is Main Street Talk Podcast. We also have a Facebook group. It is Disney World Tips and Talk. Our Instagram is Main Street Talk Podcast. And we are an affiliate of the Magic Candle Company. Magic Candle Company, if you don't know, have all your favorite theme park smells. So we have, what do we have upstairs? We have Haunted Mansion.
We've had quite a few.
Yeah.
We've got Banshee, we've got Haunted Mansion, we've got Soarin', we've got Polynesian, we've got the Lodge.
The Pirates one smells really good.
We've got lots of them, guys, and they are amazing.
They smell exactly like the attractions.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that. It's
not
crazy.
like a candle that when you let it out, the smell is gone. Like this smell,
it sticks.
It lingers.
Yeah.
And it's not overwhelming. I mean, if you let it burn for, 12 hours, it's going to be overwhelming. But, if you let it burn and it's just,
they're great.
It's so relaxed. Yeah, I really
great.
like it. So, yeah, go ahead with your site
but
on that.
the link for that is on the website as well. Main Street Talk Pod is kind of our home base for everything. So with that, we're going to end the show, and we will talk to you real soon.